अमज्ञानतिरान्तस्य ज्ञानानां दिनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाशातिवेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So in the previous week, we have seen the pastime of Prajapati Daksha with Lord Shiva. Today we shall witness further pastimes with another Prajapati. We are talking about the pastime of the sons of or the generations of Swayambhuva Manu. So this shloka we will come across as we progress with the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. So Lord Brahma has many sons. So the scores of sons that come earlier all continue to become Naistika Brahmacharis. They don't want to get married. Even though Brahma's intention behind bringing them is to ensure that the progeny continues, but all of them chose to remain Brahmacharis. So then comes Prajapati Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu is born from the mind of Lord Brahma. And from the body of Lord Brahma takes birth Shatarupa. So Shatarupa being a female, Swayambhuva Manu being the male, they get married and they have two sons, Uttanapada and Priyavrita, and three daughters, Akuti, Divahuti and Prasuti. So from Uttanapada, we are now seeing the generation of Swayambhuva Manu. From Uttanapada marries he has two wives, Suniti and Suruchi. From Suniti, she has a son named Dhruva, and from Suruchi, she has a son named Uttama. So Suruchi is the younger wife of Uttanapada. So Suruchi is more dear to Uttanapada, and Suniti does not have much significance in the kingdom. So Suniti, in one sense, is neglected. And Suruchi basically takes charge, and because she is very dear to Uttanapada, it so becomes that whatever Suruchi wishes, the same thing continues in the kingdom. One day, Uttanapada is sitting on his throne, and Uttama, who is the son of Suruchi, is on the lap of Uttanapada. And Dhruva, being another son of Uttanapada, also wants to be on the lap of his father. Naturally, when you have two children, they all want to share. If you are playing with them, both want to play. You have a chocolate, both want to have the chocolate. Dhruva, being very small, also wants to climb to the lap of Uttanapada. But when he is trying to, Mother Suruchi stops him, and she insults him, saying, "Look, Dhruva, you have no qualification to climb on that lap, nor do you have any qualification to climb on that throne which you are desiring for. Sorry, it is not possible because you are not born from my womb. So all your attempts to be on that throne will be a failure. In case you want to be on that throne, it is only possible by the mercy of Lord Narayana. And after getting the mercy of Lord Narayana, you have to be born as my own son from my womb. Then there is a possibility of you being on the throne." And all this is being said, Dhruva Maharaj looks at Uttanapada. Uttanapada does not react, nor does he protest his wife's statements. This angers Dhruva Maharaj the most. Because he's a Kshatriya. Naturally, Kshatriyas cannot bear insults. So Dhruva Maharaj, so Bhagavatam explains, Dhruva Maharaj starts hissing like an angry snake. You see when a snake is very angry, a cobra is very angry, how it raises the hood and starts hissing. So similarly, Dhruva is very, very angry now. So he starts walking out of the palace and he goes to meet his mother, Suniti. Now by this time, Suniti has got the news that Mother Suruchi has insulted Dhruva and Dhruva is upset. And Suniti also is helpless because she herself does not have any say in what Uttanapada does. Because Suruchi is more dear. So Suniti, in helplessness, actually tries to pacify Dhruva Maharaj. So when she is pacifying Dhruva Maharaj, how beautifully she pacifies, she says, "My dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pain upon others suffers himself from that pain." Even though she is undergoing that pain of her son being neglected by her own husband, just because the husband has another wife. Even in that situation, Mother Suniti is instructing her son not to wish inauspiciousness for others. These are ideal women from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yesterday was Women's Day. So women, for that matter, everybody for that matter, they should take lessons from how mothers, real women are. Empowered women don't go about hurting others. They are more into forgiveness. So here, she says this and then she continues, she goes on to say, Uttama, you have to give up your envious attitude and you have to try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Your stepmother is told that you have to render devotional service to Lord Narayana. So that is exactly what you need to do right now. And then without further delay, please continue to worship the Supreme Lord. Dhruva Maharaj, being a very intelligent Kshatriya child, he understands what his desires are. His desire at this point of time is that I want to become greater than my father. I want to become greater than my grandfather as well. I want to have that kingdom which nobody has ever ruled. That kingdom I want, this is desire. So he understands the only way out now is because his father can't help him. His both mothers could not help him. So only person he understands can help him is Lord Narayana. So he now goes searching after Lord Narayana. He doesn't know who Lord Narayana is. So he asks his mother, where is Lord Narayana? She says, I don't know where he is, but whoever searches for him goes to the forest. So maybe he's in the forest. So Dhruva Maharaj says, okay, Lord Narayana is in the forest then. Let me go to the forest. So he is walking in the forest, and every animal that comes across asking, are you Lord Narayana? No. Okay, goes ahead. Sees some tree. Are you Lord Narayana? No response. So he goes ahead. All this is being observed by Narada Muni. And he is so astonished. What a Kshatriya spirit. Just a small 5 to 6 year old child. And look at the determination to rule over the whole kingdom. How he cannot take insult. So he wants to try to help Dhruva Maharaj. And he comes in front of Dhruva Maharaj. And he goes about saying, look, my dear child, you're a small child. And for children, there's nothing called as honor and dishonor. You know, when you were small, 3, 4 years old, and somebody shouted at us and somebody told anything to us, we never had a revenge kind of, we're like, okay, today I got shouting, so when I go and play the same person. But now do we do that? Now if there is a fight, then okay, the rest of my life I'm not going to look at her, look at him, over. But when we were children, we didn't have this concept of honor and dishonor. So Narada Muni is saying, children who don't have this concept of honor and dishonor, even though if you feel dishonored, It is only because of the play of the illusionary energy of the Lord. There is nothing called as on and dishonor. It is your own karma coming in the form of pain or pleasure. So don't take all these things seriously. Go play with your friends. When you grow up, then you can come back once again in this pursuit of having the greatest kingdom. Dhruv Maharaj being very, very adamant and very stern. He says, thank you for the wonderful instructions. All these instructions hold good for somebody who is in the Brahminical spirit. I am not in the Brahminical spirit. Me being a Kshatriya, because of my ignorance, see how humbly he is saying, even though he does not like the instruction that is given by Narada Muni, he is still very humbly informing him that I am ineligible to accept your instruction because of my own shortcomings of being a Kshatriya and out of ignorance. I cannot accept your instructions. For a person with Brahminical spirit, yes, he understands that honor, dishonor, fame, infamy are all the same. Sama, Shatrau cha mitre cha, tada manapamana yoho, shitosham dukkeshu, samastam vivarjitaha. So all this is possible somebody in the Brahminical spirit. I am no Brahmana. So in case you can help me, please help me. Otherwise, please allow me to continue with mine. So Prabhupada actually explains the real mission being behind creating ISKCON, behind forming ISKCON is to create first-class Brahmanas. Because life will also give us reversals. It's not that it is going to be bed of roses. It's always going to be reversals. And when there are reversals, there are intelligent people with wisdom around us who will give us nice instructions. But unfortunately, because of our ignorance, we are not able to accept it. Prabhupada says, ISKCON is formed to create first-class Brahmanas. How are first-class Brahmanas created? Just by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So instructions are basically given to us as well. Lord's mercy, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we've been given spiritual guides, we've been given opportunities to associate, ask doubts, seek questions, seek answers for our questions. But more often than not, when we seek answers for our questions, first of all, out of our own ignorance, we don't reach out to spiritual guides with these questions. So if we happen to reach out to our spiritual guides as well, and they give us instructions, we are not able to accept it. Why? Because we are not in the Brahminical spirit. That is the reason we need to nicely chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and try to be open to accept these instructions, because there are two ways to learn things. One thing is to do it yourself and learn it. It takes a lot of time. The intelligent way is to hear from superiors, understand what they're saying for my good, and accept it then and there. So if you're not able to accept it, it's because of our own ignorance. The only way out is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So similarly here, Dhruva Maharaj says, I am ineligible, I don't have Brahminical spirit. That's when Narada Muni says, okay, I understand that your desire is very strong, so you now go to Madhuvan. Madhuvan is one of the 12 forests in Vrindavan. Yes. So you go to Madhuvan, you have to take birth in Mother Yamuna 3 times. So you take dip in Yamuna 3 times, and you have to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and you should meditate on the deity of the Lord. And when he says further, deity of the Lord you can install either by mud, by wood, or if no other conveniences are there, you can just meditate upon the Lord in your mind. So these are the instructions that Narada Muni gets, Dhruva Maharaj gets. So Dhruva Maharaj pays obeisances to Narada Muni and proceeds towards Madhuvan. So as instructed by Narada Muni, Dhruva Maharaj continues his tapasya, his austerity there. In the meantime, Uttanapada is very, very sad. So Narada Muni goes there and pacifies him. Don't worry. Whatever happened has happened, but your son is safe. He is under the protection of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So don't worry, he'll come back once again. So Uttanapada is somewhat pacified, but he's still sad that he couldn't do anything. And it is because of him that Dhruva Maharaj had to undergo so many tribulations. So meanwhile, here in Madhuvan, devotees got an opportunity to have visited this place. There is a place in Vrindavan called as Dhruv Tila. It's on the top of a mountain. So that's where Dhruv Maharaj basically did his tapasya. So here, his tapasya was that in the first month, every 3 days you eat some berries and some fruits. No, he is not on a diet. He is trying to get the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Second month, every 6 days, he will eat some dry leaves and grass. In the third month, every 9 days, he would drink some water. In the fourth month, every 12 days, he will only breathe once in 12 days. By the end of fifth month, he has got complete composure standing in one leg, motionless, and completely meditating on Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he has an image of Supreme Personality of God because Dhruv Maharaj, Narad Muni is explaining how Lord looks like, how his eyes are, and how his features are. So Dhruv Maharaj is constantly meditating on the Lord now. 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yoginapi sarvesha madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan rajate yomam samit gamataha. The topmost yogi is one who is constantly meditating upon me in his heart. So Dhruv Maharaj has reached that stage, constantly meditating upon Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not meditating on void. We should not misunderstand. This meditation is with what is explained in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Ashtanga Yoga. No. He is meditating on Supreme Personality of Godhead. In fact, Ashtanga Yoga in the 6th chapter also talks about the same thing. So that is exactly what Krishna referred to as well. It is meditation on Supreme Personality of Godhead and not on void. So Dhruv Maharaj has this image, and by this time, because of this extreme austerity by Dhruv Maharaj, the whole universe is choking up. People are not able to breathe. And Dhruv Maharaj has become very, very heavy. So Bhagavad explains, he has become practically one with Lord Vishnu in terms of heaviness. This does not mean that he has become one with Lord Vishnu, no. It is that quality that he has acquired because of this extreme tapasya. Because the Lord has entered him, Bhagavad says. So, the demigods are very disturbed. So that's when Lord pacifies them. Don't worry, this is happening because my dear devotee is meditating upon me. I will take care of the situation. That's when Lord Narayana comes to Madhuvan and gives darshan. Now, to understand that when Lord Narayana is coming and giving darshan to Dhruv Maharaj, he is coming as Prishni Garbha. You've heard of this name somewhere, Prishni Garbha. You have read the Krishna book. There when Mother Devaki and Vasudeva were there offering prayers to Krishna, that's when Krishna says, this is the third time I've come as your son. Long, long back when you were as Prishni and Sutapa, you were doing a lot of austerity. And when I came and asked you, what do you want? You said, you want a son like me. But there's nobody like me, I'm the only one. So then I mentioned that I personally will come as your son. And then I had also given a benediction that I will come 3 times as your son. First, with Prishni as Sutapa as Prishni Garbha. Then with Kashyapa and Aditi as Lord Vamanadeva. And with Devaki and Vasudeva as Lord Krishna himself. So it is that Prishni Garbha who is giving darshan to Dhruv Maharaj here. And when, just before he gives darshan, Dhruv Maharaj completely is meditating on the Lord. Suddenly, the image of the Lord disappears from his mind. 6 months he was able to see this image and now he is not able to see the image suddenly. And he gets disturbed. When he gets disturbed, he opens his eyes and the Lord is standing in front of him. Exactly as beautiful as Narad Muni has told him and exactly as how he had meditated upon. So when this happens, he is completely in ecstasy. He doesn't know what to do. So immediately offers prostrates, dandavats like one rod. And he gets up. And when he gets up, he does not know how to offer prayers. Bhagavatam says because he was uneducated in terms of linguistic expressions. He doesn't know how to. Pure devotee then because he's seeing the Lord in front of him. But that does not mean that he is completely equipped still then. he does not know how to offer his prayers. That's when the Lord touches his conch on his forehead. That's when suddenly the awareness of what prayers to be offered is dawning upon Dhruv Maharaj. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text 15 says, Sarvasya chaham hriti sannivishto mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Mattaha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Forgetfulness, memory and remembrance comes out of me. That's what is happening here. Dhruv Maharaj is blessed by Lord here. That's when he starts offering wonderful prayers. So Dhruv Maharaj, what prayers does he offer at that point in time? If this were to happen to us, how would we be? We have a big list of all that we want to ask the Lord, and then we'll open up. This, Krishna. 6 months, Krishna, without water, without sea. Now at least I deserve this, no? So that's when Dhruv Maharaj, how we are different from Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj is feeling sad and sorry that, my God, what was I asking for? The same exact sloka is not referred to in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It comes in the Hari Bhakti Subhodaya. Stana vilashi tapasi sitoham Tvam praptavan deva munindra guhyam Kajan vijinvan napi nitya ratnam Swamin kritarto smivaram nayache. Oh my dear Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now, I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly person and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead, I have found the most valuable jewel. Therefore, I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you. I have been asking for some piece of glass, and look what I have got, I've got a diamond here. You should not go to a king and ask some silver. When you go to a king, you should ask for the kingdom itself. But here, Dhruv Maharaj is completely satisfied. He has no other desires. He continues to offer prayers, and that's when Dhruv Maharaj says, devotees who render service unto you without desire experience the pleasure much more than ruling a very small kingdom. But you still maintain ignorant devotees like me, like a cow maintains a calf, giving milk and protection. So amongst every single jiva is basically part and parcel of Krishna. Mameva Musho Jiva Loke. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Eternally we are all part and parcel of Krishna. So naturally, all the jivas are in various positions of their consciousness. Pure devotees don't desire anything, so they don't ask for anything. But then there are devotees, Dhruv Maharaj says, like me, who are ignorant and have desires. And it is you who is maintaining all of them like a cow maintains a calf. So ideal scenario is that Krishna wants us back in his kingdom with him, but we don't want him. If there is a son who tells his father, I don't want to be with you, and starts becoming envious of his father and goes away, then the father naturally goes away and does not give him anything. But the Lord is not like that. Lord is so merciful in spite of not wanting Krishna for millions of lifetimes. Yet, Krishna is so merciful that every single desire of ours is fulfilled. For as long as we have the sufficient punya karma, Lord does not stop there. The desire is there, okay, you quench. The desire is there, okay, you quench. For millions of lifetimes, this has gone on and on and on. I have desired, I have accumulated karma, Krishna has given. Desired, given. Desired, given. Even though it is not good, but still, my free will is being respected by Krishna. So when all this is happening, Dhruv Maharaj is offered his prayers. The Lord understands what is in the mind of Dhruv Maharaj. So Lord says, I understand what is in your mind. For the next 36,000 years, you will rule the kingdom of earth completely. And after that, you will receive that which has not been given to anybody else till date. My planet, which is the pole star in which the Shvetadvipa is located, It is a local Vaikuntha planet within the material world. You will rule that kingdom forever. And you will never come back to cycle of birth and death. So basically, local Vaikuntha planet, basically in the material world, this place, pole star, where the Shvetadvipa is located, basically is a Vaikuntha in itself. So that is where Dhruva Maharaj gets an opportunity to rule after he rules 36,000 years. This is the very special benediction given to Dhruva Maharaj, that being in the material planet is given an opportunity to still be in the Vaikuntha planet. Very closely observe. We also have been given this benediction. Being in the material world, pocket Vaikunthas are there in most cities, yet to happen in many more cities. We are sitting in one such pocket Vaikuntha. Prabhupada says ISKCON is pocket Vaikuntha. Unfortunately, it is because of our ignorance that we are not realizing that we are sitting in Vaikuntha. That is our misfortune. Sitting in Vaikuntha, we are still not happy, is our misfortune. Slowly, we need to come into this understanding that where I am sitting this Sunday morning while the whole world is sleeping or doing whatnot, I have been given an opportunity to be in a pocket Vaikuntha. So let me spend as much time as possible, let me serve as much as possible in this pocket Vaikuntha. So after this, Dhruva Maharaj is given this benediction. Prabhupada goes on to say that this is given to Dhruva Maharaj because he is able to handle this. Lord does not give material opulences to his devotees who are seeking after it, because there is a possibility of them getting deviated. To his very close devotees, Krishna doesn't give. Krishna basically takes away everything because he wants that jiva back. For ordinary jivas, Krishna goes on giving. So anyways, the jiva is not looking for Krishna, so he goes on sanctioning whatever is required. But when a jiva starts looking towards Krishna, that small desire is brought in the heart, Krishna, enough of this material world, I want to come back to you. But here there is a partial desire. The desire of wanting the material world as well, and the desire of going back to Vaikuntha as well. Both are there simultaneously. Percentage keeps varying. When this becomes zero complete, then become pure devotees. But till then, we are all Sakama Bhaktas. When we become Akama Bhakta, then there is no desire to be in the material world at all. Then it doesn't matter. I have enjoyment, no enjoyment, doesn't matter. I just want to serve. But Sakama Bhaktas, basically the desire is there. So, Krishna does not want to give material benedictions to devotees who are looking to progress in spiritual life. So, if you're not getting that promotion, if you're not getting that lottery, it's because of Lord's blessings, and not that the Lord is not giving his blessings. Because we'll get deviated, we'll again go away from Krishna. But Dhruva Maharaj is able to handle this opulence without getting deviated. That's the reason this opulence is given. So after that, Dhruva Maharaj goes back. Uttanapada is very happy. Suniti, Suruchi, and everybody blesses him. In the due course of time, Dhruva Maharaj gets married. He gets married to Brahmi, the daughter of Prajapati, and gets daughter of Prajapati, Shishumara, gets sons Kalpa and Vatsara. He has another wife, daughter of demigod Vayu, Ila. He has son named Utkala, there another daughter. So the kingdom continues to be ruled by Dhruva Maharaj. His brother Uttama goes on to hunt in the forest and then is killed by a very powerful yaksha. After that, Mother Suruchi goes searching after Uttama in the wildfire. She also leaves her body. When all this happens, Dhruva Maharaj gets very angry that his brother is killed by yaksha. Then he goes seeking revenge. He wants to kill all the yakshas. So he starts with destroying all the yakshas, and then it goes beyond control. That's when Swayambhuva Manu once again comes and asks them, please stop. Nobody is responsible for anybody's death. Everything is happening as far as the will of providence is concerned. So the yakshas are not responsible for the death of your brother. So please stop. You will only make Lord Toira and Lord Shiva disturbed. So he accepts this instruction, and then after that, you see there's a difference. Before Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and after Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Before Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, when Narada Muni says the same thing, don't do this, you go back. Dhruva Maharaj is not accepting it. And now after Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, after the benediction of the Lord, now Swayambhuva Muni is saying stop fighting. And now even though his Kshatriya spirit is there, but still he is able to say, okay, I'll stop fighting. This is the difference. A devotee does not stop being, his propensities don't stop. He learned to be a controlled, regulated devotee. His Kshatriya spirit is still there. He learns to channelize. Authority says, you do this, he will do that. Uses his spirit. Authority says, stop. Don't do this. Immediately he is able to refrain from the. Even though the spirit of Kshatriya is still there, still is like, okay, my authority is told, I will stop. Brahminical spirit. So, after this, Lord Kuvera is very happy, is satisfied that Dhruv Maharaj stopped killing the Yakshas, and then he comes and he asks Dhruv Maharaj, what do you want? I'll give some benedictions to you, what do you want? That is when Dhruv Maharaj asks today's shloka. What is that shloka? My dear Bindura, when thus asked to accept benediction from Kuvera, the Yaksharaja, Dhruv Maharaj, the most elevated pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he might have unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For thus the person can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. This is the prayer that Dhruv Maharaj is offering to Lord Kuvera. This goes on to show that we don't have to, there's nothing against going to a demigod. In Mangalore, there are so many Brahmakalasha happening. Adya Brahmakalasha happened, and now there is Kapur Brahmakalasha happened, and then naturally we all tend to go. Sometimes in our very early stage of Krishna consciousness, we say, demigod, no, we don't go there. No, we don't have to stop ourselves. We can always go there. But after going there, we should know what to ask. Unflinching faith in and remembrance of the Supreme Lord Krishna. My dear mother, if you go to Kapu or if you go to Adya, my dear Lord Shiva, or anywhere, any demigod you go, the prayer should remain the same. There is no restriction in Krishna consciousness that you should not go there, you should not do this, nothing of that sort. But we should be intelligent and thoughtful like Dhruv Maharaj, what to ask. Because we don't know that in the initial stages we say, okay, look, you don't have to really go to the demigods and ask for benedictions. But once we are a little mature and understanding, then we can always go, but our prayers remain same. That please provide me with unflinching faith and remembrance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kuvera is very happy to receive this benediction. For that matter, all the demigods will be very happy. Because all the time, people are going and asking, Dhanam Dehi, Putra Dehi, give me this, give me that, give me that. And they're also demigods are tired, oh my God, these people, lakhs and lakhs are coming, okay, go, take it. Finally, one devotee is standing with the tilak. And you're asking, please give me unflinching faith and remembrance of the Supreme Person of God. And that's when the demigod opens the mouth, opens the eyes and says, who has come? Finally, one jiva has come. And really the blessings will flow like how Kuvera is blessing very happily. So these blessings will flow, and after that, Dhruv Maharaj continues to rule, and after that he renounces, he goes to Badrikashram. And that's when the special Vimana comes, not Indigo, not Air India Express. This Vimana comes without any. You don't need to have boarding pass. Because the boarding pass is there, but then you cannot print it. You have to work for it. So Nanda and Sunanda, they come and they accept Dhruv Maharaj, they welcome him. That's when Dhruv Maharaj takes a bath and then he goes in. And when the Vimana is flying, taking him to the Dhruva planet, that's when suddenly Dhruv Maharaj thinks, all this happened because my mother gave the instruction. My mother, where is she now? That's when these Nanda and Sunanda, they understand what is happening in Dhruva Maharaj's mind and they point out elsewhere, and that's when they see another Vimana is there and his mother also is coming in the same, another Vimana back home, back to Godhead. So there's a choice. Dhruva Maharaj, after having material desires, he became a devotee. We also have material desires. We also should become devotees. The choice is very clear. If I become a devotee, there is still a hope that I may go back to Godhead, and my beloved mother and father also go back to Godhead. This is the choice that every jiva has. As a son, as a daughter, what is the maximum I can give to my mother and father? Okay, I can build a palace. I can have an Audi. I can take her to the best of destinations across the globe. But all the empire that they create for them is going to fall one day. Either I'm going to fall first or the parents will fall first. And then it's all over after that. In case I don't become a devotee, also during that time, if I have not practiced Krishna consciousness, I have not done punya karma at all, then also I am taken on a journey. But that journey is not very smooth like this. People don't look like Nanda and Sananda, they look a little more scary and dangerous. And that's when you ask, what is going to happen to my mother? I love her so much. That's when they're going to say, you had an opportunity, but because you're so foolish, instead of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, instead of becoming a devotee, instead of giving your innocent mother an opportunity to become a Krishna conscious devotee, you gave her the best of comforts in the material world. You are anyways going to hell now. Unfortunately, because of getting a unfortunate son like you, your mother is going to go to hell. That's when the hurt is going to be really deep. Imagine me hearing that from the Yamaduta that you had a chance, but you are foolish. That instead of giving your innocent mother Krishna consciousness, you took her to the best of destinations. You anyways broke the regulatory principles. You made her do the same thing by in the name of luxuries and comforts. And then you are anyways going to hell. Your mother also, unfortunately, because of getting you as a son, is going to hell as well. Or we can be an opportunity to be like Dhruva Maharaj. The thought comes, where is my mother? There's an opportunity that Nanda and Sananda, the Vaikuntha Vasis, they will come. Say, don't worry. Because you tried to become pure devotee of Krishna, because of mercy of Srila Prabhupada, you are anyways going to back to Godhead. Your 21 generations, as promised by Lord Narasimha, 14 generations up, 7 generations down, also are going to go back to Godhead. So what do you think is the best gift that we can give to our parents? The best of things in the material world and then allow them to rot in the material world and hellish planets? Or ensure that they get a boarding pass back to Godhead? The choice is ours. And Bhagavatam goes on to say, anybody who hears this narration of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Dhruva Maharaj first time is narrated, gets to attain the eternal Vaikuntha. With this, we stop. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Prabhupada ki.